I wrote these songs. Hello and welcome back to the I Wrote These Songs project, and today's song is Just Say, which I wrote in 2011. I might go a bit long and personal on this one, but I will try and stick to the point. Surprise, surprise, this is a duet, and I am singing both parts in this song. The song is about two boys in school, Tristan and Nikki. Tristan has confessed to Nikki that he loves him, hoping for him to say the same and to confirm his assumptions that Nikki does indeed love him. But when Nikki doesn't, Tristan tries to persuade him to in this song. Or more generally, I've put this description as a boy tries to encourage his lover to just say that he loves him. This is yet another song that I wrote for a possible musical adaptation of a fictional romance story that I wrote when I was a teenager called Romeo and Romeo, which doesn't even make sense because it sounds like the guy's in love with himself. But it was meant to demonstrate the point that this was a story about two guys falling in love. And when I say guys, I mean 17-year-old schoolboys. The main plot was really about this guy, Tristan, who's like one of the popular guys in school, is really smart, is excelling in everything, and he's got this wonderful girlfriend who's been his childhood friend for years. And he takes pity on a fellow classmate called Nikki. They become close friends, but then Tristan starts to feel a little bit more for Nikki. And then throughout the story, they basically have a little affair going on. So Tristan has to choose between his girlfriend or Nikki. And in the end, spoiler alert, he gets neither. Out of all my fictional stories I started writing as a teenager, I would say that Romeo and Romeo is a very personal one for me. Firstly, it's actually one of the few stories that I fully completed. Mainly, it's personal because it introduced sort of my very first self-insert character. And believe me, I put a lot of myself in most of the main characters in my fictional stories. But with this one, I feel that with Nikki, I related so much to him. And there was so much of me as a 17-year-old in the character of Nikki. It was when I saw myself as being very shy and fearful and extremely melancholy at the same time. And Nikki was sort of my channeling character where I could just express how I felt and how I would react in situations. But the story was also a little bit of a wish fulfillment fantasy for me. All I wanted to happen at this time in my life was for someone of my age to just come into my life, have sympathy for me, and just love me for who I am. Even through all my insecurities, and just be there to just look out for me and care for me. So I spent a lot of time working on this story and basically getting my feelings out. So Nikki was the lonely, sensitive boy, and Tristan was the kind of Prince Charming to come in and save his life. I know it's extremely melodramatic, but when you're 17 and you are feeling those feelings, nothing else matters. I thought this was the most romantic thing in the world at the time, and so I strived to make this song as adorable and heartfelt as I could. Yet again, we have a duet, so God knows how the two performances of me playing both guys are gonna look. Let's not get too weirded out by me being in a romantic situation with myself. I do have a soft spot for this song, but that doesn't mean that there aren't any worse lyrics. It's probably gonna be, don't hide away the desires you yearn for anymore. Or, you've got to believe me, believe I'm not playing pretend. To be fair, Tristan's verses are just different variations of saying exactly the same thing, and it does get a bit boring. But also, these boys are 17 years old. They are not going to know how to express these deep, emotional, romantic feelings. Hence why I sort of see this story as a romantic fantasy now. I am much older. But hey, Heartstop has been created in the years since I wrote my story, so who am I to judge? So here's another awkward duet with myself. Make of it what you will, and I hope to see you for the next one. This may be a hard situation you might not have been in before. I must face this infatuation, I can't ignore it anymore. I've told you my feelings loud and clear, but there's one thing I still need to hear. Is there any reciprocation? The voice I gotta hear is yours. If you just say, if you just say, if you just say, don't hide away the desires you yearn for anymore. If you say, if you just say, if you just say, we can run away and never return for anyone. A word or a line to know that you're mine, or will you let the speech run dry? Open up while we still have the time. You don't have to be so shy. Come on now, you gotta believe me. Believe I'm not playing pretend. I want to know if you want to see me as something more than a friend. The answer just can't be ignored. I just wanna know for sure. What do you want? Is it me? Do you need me? Just let the silence end. If I just say, if I just say, if I just say, I've been hiding away the desires I yearn for. I can't anymore. If I say, if I just say, if I just say, will he take me away and never return for anyone? A word or a line, I'm gonna be fine. Oh, but what if the speech runs dry? Open up, I've been waiting all this time. Maybe I'm just too shy. If you just say, why would he wanna be with someone like me? If you just say, why would he have such deep feelings for me? If you just say, don't hide away the desires you yearn for anymore. If you say, would he really care for someone like me? If you just say, would he really feel for someone like me? If you just say, we can run away and never return for anyone. Could a word or a line to know that you're mine, or will you let the speech run dry? What makes him think that I'm not someone? Still have the time. What makes him think that you don't have to be so shy? Why would he want me? You don't have to be so shy. I've loved you for a long, long time, and I've waited for this moment for a long, long while. Be mine, take me away. You only had to say.